Majority of Muslims, they inherit their faith. They inherit it. It's like a man who is very rich and he is giving his wealth to his son, to his children. They just take it free, just like that. Maybe the father worked all his life, suffer all his life, sacrifice all his life to gain this wealth, and the son did nothing. Nothing. And the father loved the son, saying, take this and make it to become better. But because the son didn't sacrifice nothing, didn't go through anything, didn't work hard, what do you think is going to happen to that money? Today's terms, they call such people the people who have what? They feel that they are entitled. They feel that they are entitled. They feel that they are entitled. Meaning how you say, simple words now. Meaning they say, this is my right. They have a saying too. Man, once he tastes privilege, what is privilege? Privilege is a high honor that doesn't belong to him. Sometimes it is given. Mankind, sometimes when they taste the privilege, they think that that privilege is their right. Believers don't think like this, of course. Believers don't think that when they experience something that they know it is a very high honor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially in this world, they say, I must have this. Believers say shukr. Whether it is a rose, he says shukr, or the thorn of a rose, the believer says, it is coming from you. They don't look at what is in their hands anymore. They see, who is it that is giving? Then once they understand who is giving, then they understood. They say, this one is giving me with the best intentions. My best intentions. So, if it is bitter, it is a medicine. If it is a sweet, then it is something that I must share. So, that one feels entitled. Meaning, this is my right. So many Muslims, majority of the Muslims, they are like that with Islam. They inherit the Islam. They didn't work for it. They didn't sacrifice. They didn't give anything up. That's why the Islam that majority are inheriting, it is very superficial Islam. Just from the outside. Just like the clothes you put on. It's not affecting the heart. But those who are looking for Allah, they're looking for truth, they're looking for the Prophet, when they come from other traditions, other religions, and they find Islam, they say, I've never felt something like this. This is what I've been looking for all my life. Those ones, they're like their fathers who sacrifice everything to find that treasure. And when they find that treasure, they take care of it. They find that treasure, and how they understood by finding the treasure, the whole world changes. Their nearness to Allah that time is more than those ones who are just getting it free, just like that. But the whole point is not whether you are new to Islam or you inherit Islam from 7 generations. That's not the point. The whole point is, are you searching for Allah? Whether you inherit or you don't inherit Islam, what are you searching for? Majority, they're searching for dunya still. And especially those who inherit Islam, they say, okay, I already have Islam. That's a check. Now I have to have dunya. Oh, it's not a check yet. So my whole life, I have to check that. I have to run after the dunya. What kind of dunya? What kind of world? The world according to how unbelievers say, I must live this world. And how unbelievers are saying, satisfy every desire. Everything you do must be fun. Everything you do must fit into your nafs, your ego. If it doesn't fit into your nafs and your ego and your desires, then it is no good. So their dunya is like that. So they have Islam. They may pray, they may fast, they may even make zikr. They may celebrate Mawlid. They may be hafiz. But that opening in their heart where they feel that it is amazing that Allah, the Most High, still likes me, still wants me, still is pulling me out, where I spent my whole life denying Him. That feeling there, that feeling that when you've lost all hope and suddenly you discover that you had hope all around you, all you had to do was wash your eyes. That feeling, majority people who inherit Islam, they don't have. They're lost. Because they're not looking for that. They assume they have hope until you meet a Shaykh. Now, this is the crunching point? Crunching point, you can say? Can you say that or no? You lawyer, you know so many words. Crunch, not crunch time. Crunch time is gym. This is the, cuticle? Critical. Critical. What critical? This is the delicate point here. If you don't have a Shaykh, your Shaykh is shaitan. So, you inherit or you search by yourself and you find. You don't have a guide. Very soon you will lose that treasure too. Very soon you will squander your inheritance also. It's finished. That's why we dare to have now not born Muslims who deny Islam or deny the Hadith or deny so many traditional practices of Islam. Now you dare to have people who come into Islam. Yesterday they were drinking liquor and eating pork and not even knowing how to make istinja. Today they become scholar. Then they dare to make rulings on Islam and to say this is Hadith and this is not Hadith. This is what Prophet is saying, this is not what Prophet is saying. They dare to say things like, yeah, I like to be Maliki because then I can go to bathroom standing up as a man. This is not common people who are saying. These are scholars who are saying. So, lost again. This is Ahir Zaman. You're seeing one mistake is corrected. 10 mistakes happen from that. 10 mistakes are corrected, 100 mistakes. Unless you're holding on to the jubbah of a friend of Allah who is on the way of Shariat. In tariqat in these days, you must have Shariat. Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam is going to come to bring Shariat. If you're in tariqat these days and you don't have Shariat, you're out. You're out. You've already made deviation from Islam. Especially today. In the past, that's what they used to do. It is an excuse. I come into marifat. Oh, you're still stuck in Shariat? I'm in hakikat. I eat and sit and eat with Allah. Huh? Oh, then what happened to your hakikat? Imam Rabbani came and he broke everyone's backs in India. Because you are thinking you're flying so high, he burned all your wings. And he cut them off and he says, don't even make any kawali. Can you imagine India not singing kawali? They rather hang themselves than not sing. Oh, they cannot sing kawali? Oh, because you pass your limits. When you don't have the Shariat, you will definitely pass your limits. When you don't have Shariat, you think you are Allah. You think you are Allah. Because only Allah is above the Shariat. You enter into tariqat, there is a deeper Shariat to that. Now, it is not praying 5 times, let me just say simple way. Not only praying 5 times a day, you enter to tariqat, you have to pray 7 times a day. Of course, idiots are going to say, oh, this is new, he's saying 7 times a day, we never hear. It becomes, whatever that is sunnat according to outside, it becomes wajib for us. You understand? We pray Zuhur, we pray Maghrib, we pray Isha. We pray Isha prayer, we finish. No, simple example. I'm saying that within tariqat, there is a heavier shariat. We pray Isha. 4 rakats before, 4 rakats farz. We're praying the Hanafi way, Imam al-Azam, alhamdulillah. 2 rakats, and then 3 rakats, witr, right away. Okay. Those of you, especially living here in the Dergah, let me not touch other ones, what you're doing at home. Those of you living here in the Dergah. Can you imagine praying Isha, just praying 4 rakats, Farz Isha? Can you imagine doing that? And not making the sunat before and after, especially not making witr? You cannot. It becomes so much part of you, everything is like that. That to not do that, and the witr prayer, it is so important. Or can you imagine not praying 2 rakat sunnat before praying the farz of Fajr? It is not. So now so now it becomes an obligation now. It is on us. And that obligation is not because of force or not because of reward. That obligation is because of love. You just don't feel comfortable. Just like one day, some Sahabis, they came to the Holy Prophet ﷺ and says, Ya Rasulullah, we find it so difficult to get up for Fajr and to pray with you. The Prophet looked at them and said, from now on, no need for you to pray Fajr with me. Stay home. The next day there was Fajr prayer. The Prophet ﷺ came and he stood up to pray, and he looked, and the same ones who asked him the question for exemption not to pray with him, because maybe he was too far away, it was difficult, it was heavy, they were right there behind him. A few days later, they were right there behind him, and he asked them, why? I gave you permission. Oh, today's murids, if the Shaykh gives permission, they will run with it. Like sometime our Shaykh says, you, just as a joke, saying, no need to pray. That time they become the most obedient murids. They didn't pray. For months they didn't pray. And this one has been praying all his life. Unusual. Understanding the evil that is inside a man. But those Sahabi Kiram, they said to the Prophet, they said, Ya Rasulullah, when we are lying in our beds and we're missing your sohbat and your namaz, our bed, it feels like it is nails, hot burning nails on our backs. And we have to get up and we have to pray with you. The bed is not burning them. What is burning is their heart. Because now when the love pulls, the shariat of love, oh, you burn this whole world because of love. Correct? Like what Sultan Muhammad Fatih is saying, I will burn everything to get one smile from you. I don't want Baghdad. I don't want Egypt. What is Egypt? I will burn this whole world just to get one smile from you. Because that is the love. When the love, that times, the shariat there that controls it is much heavier. Then nobody needs to tell you nothing. You're not doing it because there's reward. You're not doing it because there's punishment also. It is another different kind of obligation. But when you don't have that love, oh, that time, even to come and to eat in the dergah is so heavy. You will not even come to share a meal in the dergah. It becomes really heavy. Just to come to sit and to say Allah becomes the most heavy, becomes the most sad thing in the world. Your whole face is going to be so sour, like somebody just died, like you just died. But the Dergahi is a place where Allah lifts all your burdens, and you are on the threshold. You're a threshold of the other worlds. So which world you're experiencing? Your own world, definitely. Your ego, definitely. Your ego is heavy, it pulls you down. So now, we must, from time to time, remember, we came here. Remember. That's why tariqat, especially this tariqat, if you don't work your brains, your mind, you don't work your heart, nothing is going to work, because Allah is saying, you must think. You must make tafakkur. You must remember the first time you met Shaykh Efendi. You must remember the first time you met us. You must remember the first time you took the bayat. You must remember those few times, weeks or months or years after that, and what you felt, because what you felt was real. Maybe it's not complete, but it's real. Because now your whole life that you spent with so much darkness that is around your heart, quickly that awliya just lifts and you start breathing free for the first time, looking with wonder for the first time. And you are looking, you came to the Dergah. The Dergah is a nice, humble place, but it seems like it is another world. So what happened to that feeling? Only now I'm hearing people complain. Oh, it didn't used to be like it was before. Dergah is still there, same. Because you are not making it to be. You understand? You. So many people they are, and they're understanding and knowing. It is changing. It is going back to how it was and moving to the future also. It is not stuck there. So now, it is obligation now for us. It is obligation now for us to remember those things. Otherwise, you're going to be caught up with the day-to-day grind. Then you lose it. Then that's a time, like I said, the Dergah or Islam will just be something tasteless to you. May Allah save us from that kind of ghaflat and keep us with people who are always keeping this religion fresh and alive. This is what it means that the awliya Allah are. They are fresh and alive. If they're fresh and alive, the awliya, the prophets, the martyrs, they are fresh and alive in their grave when they are veiled from this world. Imagine when they're alive, how more fresh and more alive they are. And that's when you sit with them, you feel refreshed. You feel more alive. You start feeling what it means to experience your faith a little bit. It's necessary. Because our faith is not a robotic faith. Allah keep us in their company always, inshallah. Ya Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha. Amen.